They've been in operation here for 20 years, and we have 20 years worth of experience with what was at the time a new idea, and they've succeeded, and I think in many ways have succeeded way beyond anybody's wildest expectations. There are about 75, 76 charter schools in Massachusetts. The vast majority of them are located in urban communities. The vast majority of them are located in school districts that have frankly had issues and problems with their ability to deliver on behalf of the kids they serve. And the fact that we're having a discussion about this cap is due to the fact that in those communities, those 10 or 12 communities where charter schools have been most valuable, they're at a cap. And the reason they're at a cap is because the kids and the families in those communities have really appreciated the choice and the opportunity that came with having these schools available to them, and therefore have gotten to the point where they can't grow anymore in those communities. And I've said many times that I'm enormously proud of the progress and the work that's been done since education reform was passed in Massachusetts back in the 90s. As I get older, I realize a lot of these things happened on my watch, right? It's not history anymore, it's my life. Right. And Henry and I were both on the Board of Ed when we put the curriculum frameworks in place, and the foundation budget in place, and the MCAS exam, and sort of started this whole run where Massachusetts schools went from being kind of middle of the pack relative to their peers across the country to being the #1 school system overall statewide in the country for 6 years in a row in both English and math. And if Massachusetts was a country, our performance in some of these areas would make us a top 10 player globally. And that's a great story. And for 90 to 95% of the kids in Massachusetts, it's a wonderful story about opportunity and transformation and educational excellence. What we're discussing here, what this debate is about that 5 to 10% of school districts, schools, and kids who haven't had the opportunity to benefit from the enormous success that's taken place over the course of the past 20 years across Massachusetts, except for the kids who've been lucky enough to find their way into charter schools. Charter schools in Massachusetts are the single intervention of the past 20 years that has eliminated the achievement gap between white students and minority students. Nothing else has come close. Yeah. And when I sit here and I think about this, skip the fact that I'm the governor, when I think about this as a parent who took for granted when I brought my kids up that one way or another they were going to get a great education, and that great education was going to create a platform and a foundation from which they could do what your daughter did and went on to lead a great life, and that's exactly the way it's played out so far, knock on wood. I just expected it. And it's always troubled me as a parent that every parent in Massachusetts can't expect that kind of opportunity for their own kids. And that's really what this is about. 9 or 10 communities that are at the cap, most of which have underperforming schools in them, where parents don't have a choice, don't have an opportunity. And I just can't imagine what it would be like every day to send my kids out the door to go to school knowing that I wasn't delivering for them as a parent. And this is Massachusetts. We are supposed to believe in the power and the transformation of a great education. And for so many families in Massachusetts where that's worked, this is really about simply making it possible for those families who don't have those choices and options to have the same options that are available to everybody else. And I am sure that come election day, the people in Massachusetts are going to do the right thing and vote to give every family, regardless of where they live, the same opportunity that's available to the vast majority of families today.